Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Welcome.
folks. What is
Hello.
going on? It's another episode of Tea and Teachings, and you know what that means? They're gonna get tea. No, just no
We're
teaching
gonna
today.
spill the
Just
tea.
tea. Oh, there we go. Exactly.
Yeah, we're technically supposed to be drinking tea as we teach you guys, but
Yeah,
we
I
just
don't
do
think
the
we've
teaching
done it a
part.
single time,
No,
have I?
not this
No,
round. The
no, not
first
this
time
round.
we ran it back in like 2022 or
Yeah,
2023, we had like tea every single time. It was like such a
but I think
thing.
we did it more in the mornings too.
Yeah, it
So
was
that was
9:30
yeah.
in the morning. So, yeah.
Hmm.
But welcome you guys. So, today, and we're kind of talking a little quiet. Our son is literally sleeping right beside us. He sleeps through everything. So, let's
Yeah,
let's see if he
we're
can
hoping he stays sleeping, which is great.
um but today we're going to be really focusing on faith and
Hmm.
how we found our faith. And I guess I would love to hear your perspective, but for me personally, I feel like there's kind of two segments to faith. There is one path where it's like, God, source, the universe, like believing in something bigger than yourself. And then there's another level of faith, which is, it's kind of the same thing, but there's another level of faith where it's like, I believe that no matter what happens, like I'm going to be okay. And they are intertwined because when you do have a relationship with something bigger than you, God, source, universe, it's like they always have my back. It's like I don't have to worry. I could take risks in life. I could go after my dreams. I could go after my goals because no matter what, God has carved out the path for me. And even when I feel like this isn't part of my plan, it's part of His plan. I'm going to trust that. And regardless if you have a relationship with God, source, or the universe, having an healthy amount of faith in your life is what is going to allow you to get anything that you want in your life. It's the reason why Andrew and I have been able to build businesses from scratch. It's how we've been able to overcome binge eating, depression,
Hmm.
how we are able to just live a healthy, happy life and take risks despite fear and resistance, because we always know, well, I can speak for myself, like I always believe that things are working out for me in perfect timing. And so I just wanted to start off with that because even if you don't, resonate with one area, you
Hmm.
might be like, oh, like maybe I'm always thinking worst case scenario. Maybe I'm always letting fear in, or maybe I had a level of faith at one point, but then something shook me. And then I stopped believing and I stopped thinking that things were working out for me. And, you can always come back to your level of faith. And obviously, we'll talk about how to actually do that.
Hmm.
But did you want to start off by like how you even found your faith?
Well, I just wanted to touch on one of the things that you said, which is, it is a. I forget your exact words. How you talked about without like that it's going to happen in its timing,
Yeah.
right? God's timing, source's timing. That's a very important thing because a lot of the times when we lean in on our faith, we tend to lean in on our faith. We tend to pray. We tend to ask for things only during times of challenge and struggle. That's when faith appears. We're like, oh, I'm really going through hell right now. So I'm going to put a couple of prayers out there. I'm going to hope that they're going to be fulfilled. They are always fulfilled,
Mm-hmm.
just not on your time.
Yeah.
And so the thing that you're going through in this moment, the challenge, the circumstances that you're experiencing, whatever thing is going on at work or in a relationship, all of these things are things that are for you to move you. Now, the best part about faith is like God is sending you a message. And if you want to use the example of like picking up a phone, the phone is going to ring. And if you don't pick up the phone, if you put the phone on silent over and over again, then God's going to send a criminal to break down your door. And you're going to go, well, I don't want the criminal. That feels bad. Great. but that got your attention to then go and use the phone that was there. So we have, I don't want to call them positive or negatives. We have soft signals in our life, and we have very loud signals in our life that are indicators as to where we should be leaning into faith. And when Lorna talks about it not happening on that specific timing, or the timing that it always happens in perfect timing, but not your timing,
Yeah.
that's what the reference is to. It's there are certain scenarios where we need to pick up the phone and certain scenarios where we need to deal with the burglar, and both of those are happening in perfect timing for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Something that I find really supportive anytime it's not on my own time and I'm like questioning, like, oh, I want this faster, or like I want to be further along, or I want this, or why is this happening? I always ask, like, what is here for me? Because there's always something that's there for you, whether you recognize it or not. You might not be at your goal, or you might not be at this destination, or you might not be at a place that you want to in your life right now, but like what is here for you? When I'll speak to myself, even when I was struggling with, binge eating, I remember like asking, like, why me? Like, why is this actually here? I'm like, why would God put this struggle in my life? And it was actually interesting because I was on Facebook and I don't scroll a lot, but something popped up on my feed, and it said like, I don't understand why God would give me this struggle. And, some of the comments were like, well, Jesus suffered on the cross. Like, we're also meant, like, not, we're not meant to struggle, but like, there's going to be struggles in your life. So, what is here for me? Like, what's maybe a lesson? What is here that I can learn from this? And for me, I recognize that the reason I didn't conquer binge eating at the time that I wanted to was because I needed to work through things. Like I wasn't ready at that moment to heal. Like I didn't want to let it go. It was like my safety blanket. And so it's like, at that moment in time, it's like, why me? We can look at ourselves and we can blame certain things or people. Like, why is this actually happening to me? Or we can be like, wait, what's here for me? Like, is there a story that I need to let go of, that maybe I'm not deserving of this? I'm not worthy enough of this? Is there fear that's getting in the way? Is there resistance? Is there, ooh, I'm kind of in my safe comfort zone, and like, yeah, I gotta step out of that. Like maybe I actually gotta get support. Actually, like I actually need to take action. Like, so, there's always a lesson for you. And actually, one of my clients was reading the Bible one day, and she said in the Bible, it actually says, like, if you're struggling, like, reach out for help.
Mm-hmm.
And like that was the sign for her to actually like reach out and get support from me. And like maybe if she didn't come across that page, like maybe she wouldn't have actually, reached out. And so there's always going to be signs, right? There's going to be signs, but they're
Yeah.
going to be on God's time, not your own.
For sure. I mean, faith is really interesting, and there's tons of different things in the Bible that talk about us leaning on other people and us
Mm-hmm.
building communities, right? So, great example, God telling Peter, you're going to be the rock, and upon this rock, I'm going to build the church. Basically, what he was saying to Peter is, Peter, you're going to be a leader, you're going to be a pillar of this faith, and your job is to help connect other people to build the church, aka the community. That's really what it is. And a lot of the times when we are uh, leaning into faith, and when faith is working for us, it's typically because we have a community that is backing us and supporting us. And there's really four areas that really, really help you stay connected to faith. So the first is you need to have a community. That's
Mm-hmm.
really important. If you don't have a community, then it is going to feel like you're alone, and that no one is answering, and that no one is listening, because again, we are not solitary beings. We're meant to do things together. The second is you have to have a purpose, or a passion. And those are intertwined. Something that you are actively putting your energy and your focus and your time into. There has to be a reason for your existence. And you have to create that reason. Now, that reason has already been given to you, whether you know it or not, it's going to be revealed. But if you just sit there and you don't do anything and you don't take actions and you let your life pass you by, that again, you're separating yourself from the thing that's bringing you closer to God and closer to Source. So let's say you have the community, you have the thing that lights you up every single day. Then the other thing that you have to really have inside of your life is that connection with like your partner, with someone that's going to be your teammate, in which case that relationship is effectively like trusting someone else. You need to be able to trust others, right? Trust your people at work, trust other people around you. And sometimes we have a hard time trusting other people. But if you have the community that always supports you when you're down, if you have the ability to trust everyone at a very deep level, and you're able to like stay in a state of joy and of work and experiencing that happiness, you're gonna find it's gonna be hard pressed for your life to like be bad or for it not to work out for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing, people will be like, "How are you so positive all the time?" And it's like, it's not about being positive, it's about having faith. It's like the people that you see who are just like happy all the time. It's like, no, like they have hard days, but they choose to be in a good mood, knowing that again, like there's already a path carved out for them. Like it's choosing to believe that life is working with you, not against you. Like God is on your side. It's not like it's like, like why is this happening to me? When you think something is happening to you, it's like I can get out, like this sucks, like poor me. But it's like no, like God is working with me and he's literally got my hand and we're going to do this together. So I'm going to put a smile on my face cuz like I know I'm going to be okay. And I actually want to share, so I've always had a relationship with God, and we're gonna actually share like what actually changed for us at the end of 2024. I feel like I've always had a relationship with God. Like I would pray. I always believed in like a higher power, and I believed in God, but that's kind of where it was at for the most of my life. And I went to a retreat at the end of December, and I saw one of my mentors, and I knew my mentor had a deep level of faith and really relationship with God specifically. And I've seen like all these things that she was able to create in her life and how important like prayer was and her faith and her relationship with God. And Andrew and I met up afterwards, and we got back into the car on our way home back to where we live. And do you remember how it happened?
No, not really.
I don't know. It was like this weird thing where we both, I don't know if I mentioned like, what do you think about deepening?
We came at it from two different ways, right? Because you came out of the retreat and were thinking it, and I was having conversations inside of the men's group,
right?
Realizing there was a piece that was missing,
yes.
And we just sort of talked about it at the same time, and then we were like, interesting that like you're bringing up God and I'm also bringing up God.
It was like the exact same time.
That's been missing.
Yeah.
And so yours came out outside of the retreat.
The retreat, and then you've been doing a lot of like work with your men's group, and it both just came at the exact same time, and we were like, we need to start dedicating more of our life to God and deepening our levels of faith. And so we started going to church literally every single Sunday. And I bought a Bible, and it's not an excuse. Like I haven't read it because it's a little bit tough with Dominus. But I was consistently reading it every single morning. And
you were good for like 8 months.
Oh yeah, like 100%. It's
not like you low-key did it. I mean, you made through the majority of it.
Yeah. Half asleep at 5 a.m., but we're good. And it's interesting because I've dramatically seen a massive difference in my life, in our life, when actively creating a relationship with God. And if you think about it, like your relationship with food, right? If you just like work on it here and there, it's like you might get better, right? You will heal your relationship with food, but like, it's not going to be um a massive transformation. But when you spend time healing your relationship with food, you see the compound effect. You see it working in your favor. And in 2025, when we started going to church like every single Sunday, we started praying together. I started reading the Bible. I started deepening my relationship with God. Like, there's been so many different miracle moments. I mean, even just having Dominus and like, having him at home, and I prayed for that, and just so many different things. And faith will take you so far, right? Like having a level of faith will take you so far, but having faith in something bigger than yourself, that's when you experience these like
Right.
miracle moments.
Well, I think to the point of faith will take you so far. A lot of people believe without doing the work,
Yeah.
right? It's like, I believe in God, but I don't pray,
Yeah.
right? It's like, I show up to church, but when I'm at church, I'm not present. And when I'm outside of church, the other 6 days a week, I'm actually like not in this.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, the key with faith, like, believing is different than knowing. And the reason why we have faith in something is because the knowing has not happened yet, right? Lorna and I have not met God, shook his hand, be like, hello, cool, because then we would no longer believe, we would know. We
Mm-hmm.
would say, hey, I know God. And we're working every single day to get to know him. And there will be a stage in which we do know him. But
Mm.
most people stay in this very fluffy, light surface area of belief where you say, I am, like, I am a Catholic, I am going to church, I am doing, but you're not really doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
Believing comes in doing the work. It comes in making or taking a change in your life, even though you don't know the outcome.
Yeah.
You have to believe the outcome will be there,
Yeah.
right? It's trusting a partner or joining into a relationship,
Yeah.
believing that that person is exactly who they shared with themselves.
Yeah.
Because truly, you don't know, right? How many people, two people move in together, and then you're like, oh, this is who you are, right?
Yeah.
It's like you have to have that belief, and belief is trust beyond by doing the work to work through.
It's such a mirror for like everything, It's like, how do I know that this job is going to work out for me? How do I know that I can start a business, it's going to be successful? How do I know that I can heal my relationship with food and it's going to work? You don't know. That's the point of faith. If you knew, and this is the thing, it's like even if you knew it would work, some people still wouldn't do it. And that's what Andrew's getting at. You can't just, you can't, first of all, you can't just know or you can't just do, like, or you can't just know or you can't just believe. You got to actually do.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to do the do despite the knowing, right? Like Andrew said, we didn't meet God, but it's like, I believe, right? And then you take action, and then it's like, ooh, that belief grows and grows and grows. When I healed my relationship with food, I didn't know that I can conquer binge eating, but there was a tiny little bit of belief, and I took action that was like, I'm gonna actually like trust and like know that this could happen for me. I'm going to believe that it's actually possible. I'm going to take action. And that is how I conquered, right? So,
I wanted to bring one more point to that. There is, a common element when people, because like now that Lorna and I are practicing more of our beliefs and being more vocal about them, you get the inevitable conversations of like, well, like how do you know? Like, how do you know that all of the work that you're putting in to your business is going to work out? Or like, how do you know that you're showing up to church every day, and that like God isn't just some make believe thing? You know, how come he doesn't appear again and show you miracles? Or how come these things in your business, how come you're not handed the playbook right at the very beginning? Well, there's no value in that. Like if God flew down from the heavens and was like, here I am, and performed a miracle in front of everyone, there wouldn't be believers. People would join because they would go, oh, well, I mean, this is the truth. You see, belief is a choice, knowing is not a choice. And that's the difference. If you're going to choose a better life,
Mm.
if you're going to choose a life that's connected with spirit, with source, with people, with love, with hope, you got to choose it. And that's also why we were gifted free will. We weren't forced to love. I wasn't forced to love Lorna, just like I'm not forced to love God, just like I'm not forced to love my work. I have to choose that. The gift of choice allows us to decide what we believe in and what we follow.
Mm.
So for someone to say, I won't do something unless I know it's going to work, right there, what you say is, I only want to do things that are certain.
Yeah.
And certain is easy. There's no certainty in life.
Yeah.
And this is why we have to move past that. Everything, every day is uncertain. You don't know if you'll wake up. I mean, that's extreme. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I'll wake up tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if every day has that level of uncertainty, the question is, why aren't you leaning into that? Why don't you believe that that uncertainty is for you, that
Yeah.
it's going to work out in the ways that it's supposed to work out, that all of the effort is going to lead to something, and whatever that something is, even if it's not the outcome you thought it was going to be, it's still going to be the best thing that's there for you.
Hmm. Yeah. I also think too, it's, you know, I believe that right now, every single one of you guys is living a life that you once prayed for.
Yeah.
But we don't look at it like that. It's like, yeah, but I don't have this. Yeah, but I don't look like her. Yeah, but like her business is better than mine. Oh, yeah, but her body is better than mine. Oh, but this. And it's like I'm sure you've all gotten to a point where you have something in your life, whether it's a relationship with your husband. Maybe you've given birth. Maybe you have your dream job. Maybe you live in your dream home and you've prayed for that. Like you wanted this your whole life. Yeah, but we don't live by the water. Yeah, but our relationship could be better. Yeah, but I'm still thinking about food. Yeah, but my business could be. It's like we have to also appreciate what it is that we do have, because I think when we often think about like faith and a relationship with God, it's like we want like more, like I want that next thing, like can I have this, like I'm ready for this next thing, and it's like yes, but if you can't be grateful for what you have, like more isn't going to come to you. You have to be grateful because the things that you have now, I guarantee, is everything that you prayed for. And are you saying thank you, or are you saying it's not good enough? Because 3 months ago, you would have dreamt of being in this place. A year ago, you would have dreamt of being at this place. And we always want what we can't have. And sometimes we do also take advantage. I think a lot of people do take advantage of what they have, but you have to remember that that's a miracle. That you have whatever it is, whether it's like, you had a passion in your heart to start a business. You found a coach to help heal your relationship with food. You went on that dating site like Andrew and I where we met, and like everything is in support of what you have in your life right now. And change the verbiage from it's not good enough, or I'm not there yet, or it doesn't look like this person's life, and really sit with yourself like I've prayed for this, and it's like when things you pray for something and then it's like you have the thing and then you almost like take it for granted, right? And it's like if that thing was taken away from you, you would have wished for that, you know? And this could be so many different.
Yeah. No, go.
situations, right? But it's like, whether you have like even a baby, right? Or like you have kids and it's like, oh, like, I want my alone time back. Or you landed your dream job and you're like, oh, but like, now I'm working more hours and like I wish I can go back to like, working less hours. And it's like you prayed for what you have, like soak it in, like soak in every single ounce of life.
Hmm. I think, you said change the words around what you're saying. I would also argue change the expectations. Expect nothing because you're owed nothing. And one of the most sobering realities that I came to when I was always trying to force my life to work. Lorna and I, we've built multiple businesses, and I share this even in my TED talk. It was career to career, business to business, and it was never enough, and it was never okay, and there always had to be some expectation of more, and my expectations could never be satiated because my expectations were always growing.
Hmm.
I could never just be okay with what was, because what is the now. If you can never be okay with who you are and where you are in this present moment, it will never satisfy.
Yeah.
And when I talk about changing the expectations to expect nothing, I'm not saying abandon your goals,
Yeah.
discard your dreams. No, what I'm saying is we work for these things, but if it doesn't happen for me, I'm also okay. If it doesn't work out the way that I was hoping for, that's also fine because I know it's happening exactly as it should be.
Hmm.
That is the aspect of faith,
Yeah.
the belief that when I go and I operate in a way that's from excitement, from passion, and from love, something beautiful is going to be generated from that.
Yeah.
Where we pull away from our feelings of faith, where we pull away from source, and we feel a disconnect in our life. When we're disconnected, that's what that is. Oh, I don't know. I feel disconnected from my job. I feel disconnected with this. It's not typically because the thing changed.
Hmm.
The relationship didn't change, the job didn't change. Those things are usually the same. It's because you shifted the expectations or you started wanting a different outcome.
Yeah.
And this is where what the things that we pray for, they come with good and they also come with hardships, right? You want the relationship. You go into a relationship and then you go, oh crap, now I have to do date nights every single week and I actually have to like pick up my clothes and I have to be more disciplined, and I can't just walk around doing certain things that I used to do because I'm in a relationship now. This is where the thing that you want, we're always praying, but we don't understand what's involved in that thing.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why when we're given something in terms of faith, like a hardship, we're given something to show all of the other areas that we are out of alignment to make that thing work.
Yeah. And there is going to be struggle in life. Like you can't just have the thing without the struggle, right? Like you have a beautiful baby, you got to go through giving birth and dying. You got like, like
Dying.
no.
Dying.
You got to like, having a successful business, you're going to go through so many challenges. Healing your relationship with food and conquering, there's going to be resistance, there's going to be like like so much like frustration and like, oh, I just want to freaking rip my hair out. Like that's part of it. It's all part of it. You cannot have, what is it? Like you cannot have the sunshine days if you're not willing to accept like the rainy days. You can't expect yourself to have the highs of the highs if you're not also willing to go through the lows of the lows, and it's part of the process. It doesn't mean that like you're different and like it's harder for you. Everybody goes through challenges, right? But it's the people that, whatever we can call it, get whatever they want, is they have such a tunnel vision on what it is that they want, and they're not willing to let anything get in the way. A challenge pops up, no problem. Scarcity comes up, no problem. Fear, resistance, all of these different things can pop up, and it's like whack-a-mole. Like you're just like knocking them off, like boom, 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 boom. Like we're good. Like I know where I want to go. I know where I want to be, and like nothing is gonna get in my way. That's really it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not expecting, like if you expect the path to be super duper easy, you're gonna be in for a shock, and you're gonna think that you're doing something wrong when it is challenging and there are hardships, but it's all part of the path. Good morning.
Oh, look at the yeah. Good morning.
Good
Hi.
morning.
I think um, actually, and this has to do with kind of how I reconnected with Source, because I think there's an important point that Lorna just said. Um, Sometimes we do the work and we go through the motions, and we're doing the work but we're not present in it. We're not actually being the embodiment of the things that we're taking on. And a great example of this is like, a very long time ago, like, I mean, I was baptized as a kid. Someone did the work for me then, did, of course, confirmation, went through all of the steps through high school, did catechism. I believe that's what it was called. And then as my life started to get busier and busier with, me being a mechanic and then me taking on school, I just slowly stopped transitioning away from that. Not because it wasn't something that was valuable, but because my life got so busy and so full, it just kind of sidelined. Like
Mm,
when things are going well, we lean less into our community. We
yeah.
lean less into our partner. We lean less into God. And then when things aren't going well, all of a sudden I got to start hanging out with more friends. I got to start doing that. I
Yeah.
got to start doing whatever. And what I noticed when I reconnected with God now, the way that I keep Him present and the way that I keep connected is I am always tapped in,
Yeah.
always making prayer a part of the day, always making sure that we're, again, going to church, always involving the community, always staying connected with Lorna and staying connected with my family. When we do those things and we implement them on purpose, we're being intentional with them. That's when you're always tuned in.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about this falling off track, or you don't have to worry about this falling off.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily that you want it to fall off. You love whenever you show up and you love the way you feel, but it's always when things get really busy, then you start to pick. And unfortunately, the things that we pick are the things that keep us stable, connected, and feeling great.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest way you can tell. The easiest way you can tell if you're like, oh man, I really need to reconnect with God and with Source again. Oh man, I really need to connect with my community, is when you feel separation. Separation happens before disconnect. When space grows apart, you start to feel a growing sense of missing something,
Yeah.
wanting to have that. That happens before disconnect.
Yeah.
And you cannot allow the separation to happen. So the real work is always leaning in and taking up the space of the separation.
And it's also like never too late to dive into your faith.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, Andrew and I has always had a level of faith, but we've deepened our relationship very heavily at the beginning of 2025, and like it's never too late. And like just like anything, it's like it could be weird or awkward at the beginning. Like I remember being like, how do we like pray? Like what do we say?
Yeah.
But that's with anything in life. You have to be willing to have
What
humility.
I have a question for you on that. Like, what was your like for me? The reason why I felt like it was awkward is because it's like a son coming home to a parent that you haven't seen in a long time. Like, I don't know how to have the conversation. So because what I felt like I was the
Yeah.
absentee kid
I know you
showing
mentioned
back
that.
up,
Yeah.
right? So what for you was it that created that awkwardness you feel of like I don't like know how to start up again?
Well, I think it was more just like praying out loud because like I don't think I've ever done that in my life.
Mm,
Everything was always just like really silent and um obviously there's not like a right thing to say, but it's like what should I pray about? Like, what am I going to speak to him about today?
mm,
Um and I don't know, like we've never really done it together.
yeah,
So I
that's fair.
think there's also that piece.
Mm,
Like I would just pray alone by myself, like, so
mm,
I think it was just like a mixture of different things. But I want any of you guys listening to know that it's never too late to dive into your faith. It's never too late to deepen your relationship with God, just like it's never too late to start the business, to get into that dream relationship, to heal your relationship with food, to like it's never too late. Like imagine if Andrew and I are like, "Oh, well, it's already been so many years, like it's probably too late." Like miracles wouldn't have happened for us these past few years. So it's never too late. Just you gotta have a level of faith. You gotta have the action behind it, right? Like it's not just like la la land and like everything's working out for me. So like let me just kick my feet back and like chillax. Like you do gotta put the action behind it. And that's the other thing too. It's like people will be like, but I believe, like, but like one day, and like sometimes that's actually self sabotaging because it's like you're not where you want to be, and it's like, oh, but like it's gonna happen one day. But like it's been 3 years, like it's been a year, But like I believe, like I trust, and it's like you have such a strong level of faith and such a
mm.
strong level of belief, and like that's amazing. But you're lacking the action, which is why it's not there. But because also like you you got to show up. You got to meet yourself with where you want to be. You have to have higher
Mm.
standards.
You know, to the people who say something and then the belief comes after when they say, but I believe, where they're using the belief
Yeah.
like they're, that is not belief.
Yeah.
That's be,
S.
lie, Eve.
I was gonna say
You're,
BS.
you, you, and there's a difference between belief and
Mm.
be, lie, Eve.
You be
We
lying.
that well, and that's exactly it. It is before the lie.
Yeah.
We try to reassure ourselves
Yeah.
whenever there is uncertainty and whenever we feel like it's not happening. And this is where, like Lorna and I talk with a lot of our clients, and we talk about it's okay to tell the truth. And sometimes the truth is like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I have no idea. That's fine. It's okay to say that. And you can then say, but I know that God has my back and that everything is meant for me right now.
Yeah.
What's not okay to do is for you to say, oh, I'm really trying. And like, like I'm working on becoming this person, and I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with this, but like, but I do believe that I can get there. Well, no, if that's been on your plate for 3, 4, 5 months, you're trying to use belief as the overcome for whatever's actually there, which
Yeah.
is fear,
Yeah.
right? And notice that, even when it comes to prayer, you don't just pray and something magically
Yeah.
appears, right? You
Yeah.
have to reinforce that with the action, with work, or with the recognition of what's there.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by be like Eve, is sometimes we are trying to create, we're using faith as the lie as to why we're not proceeding forward, when sometimes it's like, hey, look, the reason why we're not proceeding forward is because we're not doing the work.
Yeah.
And that's the best part about it is, which some people may not love. Like, hey, newsflash, if you're listening to this, whatever's happening to your life, if you like it, it's your fault. If you don't like it, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Like everything that is happening in your life right now is not happening to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening for you,
Yeah.
and it's your fault.
And in like the best way, because it's like like I look at that and be like, even if you're not where you're at, it's like, let that be like exciting of like, I can change. Like I can actually make moves and I can actually get what it is that I want. Like you literally can have whatever it is that you want, but you got to back yourself. You know, you got to be that person that you're proud of every single day. Am I showing up as her every single day? Am I showing up as the best version of myself every single day? And when you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are taking the action, that you are putting in the work, you surrender. You let go of timelines. There's zero stress because you know it's coming. And I think we'll end there.
100%. Every single one of you has the ability to tap into your faith right now. And yeah, I'm doing this.
We're literally like this, trying to entertain him for the last few seconds.
Him distracted. But yeah, every single one of you has the ability to tap into faith. And it is simply a matter of who you're surrounded by, how tapped in you are to your community. And that's exactly why, if you do not have a community, you need to put yourself in spaces, in rooms, and go to events and places where people are the right people for the room. Because your community and the people you surround yourself with dictate everything. You know, it's one of the reasons why we're doing the Unstoppable Badass Retreat, because we know 100% community is what creates results, because it reinforces the things that you do. If everyone is ascending and they're growing and they're learning, it just continues to scale and it continues to pump you up, right? The more you stay tapped in and the more you stay connected to others, just like the more you stay connected with God, the easier it's going to be. I don't want to use the word easier. The simpler it's going to be for you to be able to recognize, where am I experiencing separation in my life? Separation from source or separation from other people? Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. And that's when you can go in.
And when you're around other people that believe, it's like it literally brainwashes you to also believe what's possible. Like when you're around somebody who's like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, you are also like, I don't know if I can do this. And when you're around other people, they're like, I got this. Like, I know that I'm meant to live an extraordinary life. Like, I'm here to be the greatest version of myself. It's like, heck yeah. Like, frick yeah. I'm like, me too. Absolutely. And like, you feed off of each other, right? And so if you don't fully believe, just get in the room. Literally, you can shift your belief by just being in the room with empowered other badasses, and you can literally believe that anything is possible.
Hell yeah.
Because they're either doing it or somebody in the room has done it. And not that you need proof, but it's like, it does help.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
100%. Yeah, look at that. We have survived another episode of Teen Teachings.
We will be sending out the schedule for April. We're just trying to figure out times with the little bean.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we're 100% present with you guys. So, of course, we love when Gooby is with us all the time, but we want to make sure that whenever we're sharing messages and just communicating, that like everything, we're giving it all to you guys. So we will always come up with monthly schedules to make it work, so then you guys can get the best of everything that we're saying. And
it's crazy because this time last year, so it's March 31st, this time last year we were actually at the Unstoppable Badass event 1.0, and now we are exactly 2 months away from the second in-person event.
It's crazy.
So if you have been watching Teen Teachings and you have gotten so much value out of this, you are going to love being in person at the Unstoppable Badass event 2.0, where yes, you're going to learn more information, but it's not about the information. It's about the community. It's about the experience of actually being in the room with other people, experiencing real-time breakthroughs in the moment. This is not like you listen to something and then you can grab him. You listen to something and then it's like, you know, like, okay, I'm going to let this land. It's like, no, the moment you're in the room is the moment you actually transform. Because we are actually doing things in real time activities that are going to shift your confidence, allow you to build up self-trust, allow you to deepen your levels of faith so that you can get anything that you want in your life, to actually feel way more confident in your own skin. There's going to be tangible things for you to actually implement. Like, we're going to get you guys to do things that are going to expand your beliefs, that is going to expand your mindset, that's going to shift your identity on the spot. So if you are someone who is fine with where you're at, you're kind of a little comfortable with where you're at, this event is not for you. This event is for someone who's ambitious, committed, driven, who doesn't settle in life. You're like, I want to see what else I'm capable for. Like, I want to meet the higher self version of myself. I want to meet the greatest, best version of myself. And I'm so committed to that. Like, you want to actually put in the work. One of the ladies coming, actually multiple of the ladies coming, they're like, I can't wait to like actually do a deep dive and like put in the work. Like, I'm ready for it. Like, bring it on. Like, I'm ready to do the work. And that's who we really want in this room. We want ambitious, driven, committed people. Yes, Aaron's like, can't wait. 59 days. Holy moly.
59 days.
59 days to go. Oh my goodness. It's going to be an incredible experience. And message me for like the logistics and the full details. I'll share that with you. But essentially, again, you're getting specific trainings with Andrew and I. You're going to be in the room with the other people in the community. You're going to feel seen. It's a judgment-free zone. You're going to be able to have those breakthroughs in that moment. This is a weekend that will create a transformation for the rest of your life. Because when you see yourself differently, because of how the other ladies in the room reflect back to you what they see in you, you're literally going to become so unstoppable because you start seeing yourself that way. And we just see
Heck
the
yeah.
in the way.
Baby bum, that's right. You guys have to see Baby Bum because I have to say ditto.
You're going to have a weekend of a lifetime. Of course, we're going to have so much fun. We're going to do a badass workout. We're going to do a badass breathwork session in person. What else are we going to do? A workout. Oh, did I say breathwork session? Breathwork session. We're going to do a workout session. It's going to be really incredible. And you're going to leave just feeling like anything is possible.
Heck yeah.
So.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Tirana? Nice.
In Tirana. You get that? It's in Tirana.
Heck yeah.
So if you don't know where Tirana is, well, that's going to be a problem. Because it's not in Tirana. It's in Toronto. If you don't know what Toronto is, well, we have a problem. All right, badasses. Well, thank you for being here. If you feel called to expand and to grow, message me for your ticket to attend the Unstoppable Badass Event 2.0. We're so excited. We're pouring our heart and soul into this event. We can't wait to help you guys transform on an even deeper level. So thank you guys so much.
Love you
Enjoy
guys.
the rest of your day. We'll see you guys soon. Okay,
Bye.
bye.